Hello everybody, welcome to another episode from the podcast Mistħija, No Shame, a podcast from MGRM where we are discussing sexuality, we're discussing intimacy in an open way, new curiosities, new questions about these two spheres and maybe things that we would have wanted to ask all this time. We're creating this space, a safe space where we can have such a conversation. Today, I am joined by Rebecca and Alejandro. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today for this podcast. We're going to get to know each other very, very, very well in this hour. Thank you so much for finding the time to being here. Can you first of all tell us a little bit who you are before we even introduce the theme that we're all going to be talking about, something present to all of us? Who are these two people? Rebecca, who are you? Where do you come from?
I come from Denmark. I live here in Malta and I've been living here for 6 months.
Lovely.
I came here for an internship. I am studying to be a pedagogue.
Amazing.
So I work with people. And I am here because of that and because I wanted some heat. Denmark, very cold. I want to prolong the summer, so now I feel like it's spring, and back home it's like winter, so I'm happy.
Fair enough. I was going to ask you, what was the reason? How have you found then hot Malta over the last 6 months?
I love it.
By the time we're recording, you would have been through a summer, a spring and a summer, right?
Exactly, yes.
How has it been? How's 6 months been?
Lovely. I love sweating as much as I've had. Because in Denmark I'll be like, oh, and here it's just
fantastic. Fantastic. I work in theatre, so I'm always in a rehearsal room, and the level of sweat is pretty high.
Exactly.
It's pretty high. So
you get it.
I ran away from Warsaw to a colder country. You came because it's a little bit warmer.
Yes.
We've literally swapped. We've swapped spaces.
Yes, we did.
Rebecca, thank you so much for being here. Alejandro, how are you? What do you do? Tell us a bit about you.
I'm living in Malta for 6 years. Right now I'm reading psychotherapies and psychology.
How have the 6 years been? What has been your highlight about Malta so far? What do you love?
Well, it's science fiction because we had COVID 4 years ago.
Of course, you came at that time. Oh my
I came
gosh.
just before,
Oh, no.
and I worked for airlines in that time, so also was a different kind of do something different.
Absolutely.
So but settle.
Glad that we're sitting here then 6 years later, away from all of that trouble, and good luck for your studies. I really hope that this last year goes well. I have no doubt that in a year's time you'll be sitting here with even another qualification to add to things. My friends, we are here to discuss something rather personal, I believe, to all of us. Today we're going to be discussing polyamory. And it is something that I know from the little that I know you, that you both have experiences in. But I think the mission of today is to discuss it, find a bit of a definition, expand on it, maybe demystify some things that are around this topic. And I think as 3 people from 3 different countries who all met in this one space and time, it's going to be I hope it's going to be a really, really interesting conversation on the wealth of experiences that we can also bring through. Really, really, really wonderful, and welcome to the podcast. Can any one of you give me a definition of polyamory? Because I'm pretty sure that there are many different ways that we can look into it, and it doesn't have to be a scientific one. Could even be your own experience of how you look at polyamory. But what exactly are we going to be discussing? What is polyamory?
It's a good question because it's very, as you say, it's personal in a way, but I see it as it is a way of loving people.
Beautiful.
It is a way of connecting with multiple people, and we have maybe the more normative way of looking at it, that you love one person, you're monogamous. That is, most people know that. Yeah. You have non-monogamy, and polyamory is under that category in the way of I love more people, I connect with more people, I'm with more people. And that for me is the biggest difference in it.
Amazing. Can I ask you, Rebecca, what has your experience of polyamory been? If I had to take you back, I'm pretty sure that for all of us, asking the same, Alejandro, for all of us, there would have been a time where, sorry, I shouldn't project this on you from my time, never speak about my time, me growing up, it's a very clear heteronormative model
Yes.
that I'm looking around in the world. That when I grow older, one day I'm going to have my partner. I am male, therefore I assume that I'm going to have a wife when I grow up. Very early on in the process, that was demystified, but I think as even years went by, even that the monogamous model was really challenged for me.
Yeah.
But how was it for you? Before I ask you the same question, Alejandro, what's your experience of
Well, I completely agree with you. I grew up in the same way. It was very. I have two sisters, so we were 3 kids, and I saw my elderly sisters find a man.
Okay.
I saw them, now they have kids, and I looked and being like, I don't want that.
Okay.
But what
Was
do
it
I
the
want
kids'
then?
part?
Like, no, like just, yes, but everything in the way of like, I thought that was the way of doing it, you know? I needed to find a man, I need to fall in love, I need to have kids, I need to do that, like normative, this is what you want to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't see the like I didn't understand the happiness in it. So I started off with doing as I thought I should to make mom proud. I would like, so I was monogamously in a relationship with a guy.
Okay. Okay.
And I was just not happy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Not his fault, not at all.
Yeah.
It was purely the whole curiosity. I was confused. I was ashamed that I was queer. Right now, like at that point, I didn't accept it. I think my family knew, but I didn't. I wanna like go into it. Then I started realizing that I was curious about other people. I connected in a like the same level as with my boyfriend at the time. So I ended it with him, and I found out that I was more happy when I connected with multiple people. And I didn't know the word polyamory at that point, but so therefore I started thinking, oh, I'm just into open relationships.
Okay.
Therefore I started with that term. But then once I got to know these 2 women and I got in a throuple,
Okay.
I realized, oh, this is something you can do as well. There's multiple people that can accept the same terms. We're actually in it together.
Yeah.
But eventually, they were a couple, they lived together, but I still wanted my freedom, and they accepted, okay, when we're in the same city, we're together. When you're living in your city, you're open.
Interesting.
As long as they knew everything that happened, and I told them like transparency, communication,
Yeah.
and trust. That was for me the pillars, and therefore I like just explored, and I was so happy.
How beautiful.
Yes, so that is how I found out that that is the way I like. I like to connect with people. I never fall in love. I just love. I love so many people. So I give my love, and falling in love is something I've rarely done.
I'm so going to ask you a million questions
Yes,
about that.
please
because
do.
that is such a wonderful, also almost challenging of such a cliche. Oh, I fell
Yes.
in love. Oh, I found the one.
Yes.
And you are so taking that and looking at it
Yes.
from the other side. Hold that thought.
I will.
Because I'm totally going to expand on that. But Alejandro, turning the spotlight on to you, what has been your experience of polyamory and how do you look at it?
Well, for terms in polyamorous, my first serious relationship was a throuple.
Okay.
Because yes, I was a teenager. I did never have actually a queer community growing up as in that period when I can find a boyfriend or so on. So I keep myself very straight, like social.
Okay.
Internet come up, the hookups, websites come up. I'm talking about 20 years ago. And then I found myself seeing a couple. But for seeing them every 2 weeks, I started seeing every week, and for every week was 3 times a week, and they start to buy things. The groceries include me. The things in the house are also mine, and my personal stuff I start to be in there. And was a period of time when we can not even put the name of trap or anything else, because no, this is just happening. It's something in this. But when we mention that maybe this is something, everyone ran scared and denial and no, have your freedom. We need to get you a boyfriend. I will introduce you to my friend. But really and truly, everything get mixed up. I was 20, they were 35, 36, and also we play with the playbook that we have in the moment. Okay, normative families, we are the adults, you are kind of the kid, we are adopting you, we are our kid. No, it's not a perversion neither, this is something else. And was okay for a very long time till everything actually scared everyone out. That this is something serious. I don't know how to handle. They ran away, and I get along with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sure it would have felt at that point that in the beginning, the questioning was not as strong as when it was at this point, at the end. And almost at that point, the heteronormative model, the binary, the two people, that took more prominence than actually what we have over here. Forwarding from that, Alejandro, did your perception to polyamory change because of this experience, or is it something that you still kept seeking?
Really, it's not something that I'm seeking, or I think it's something that I am.
Interesting. Tell me more.
I love people, regardless the situation they are. If there is space for be in a relationship with them, fantastic. If it's not, I will adore you as a friend. And all the time, with time, of course, and putting this in words, it takes years of therapy and introspection, is we grow up, even in this heteronormative system, we grow up loving our parents, and they're two, and we need to love the same level of authority with the same. We don't have we have a favorite maybe, but we love that level of authority in the same way.
That is so interesting.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And even the intensity is different. The definition of love is it entails a lot of things, devotion and admiration and so on, but it's fluid itself. It's not a straight line like in a coma or you're just dead. It's comes and goes. And the thing you can do it with someone you want to share life. That's why for me I never deny the possibility. When I have this experience, and actually I have 6 after different couples, I never deny the possibility of this is happening. And I'm actually very lucky.
That is incredible. And I have to say, we discussed before we started that I've discussed and questioned polyamory so much, even though it's affected me in my own life. This image of you, if you have 2 parents in your life, there's no, I need to choose one because 2 is too much or anything like that. It is such an interesting an interesting observation that I've never even crossed my mind, which is really, thank you so much for sharing that. As far as definitions go, because I started with the definition of polyamory, it happened so many times, even when I was analysing the term itself, that there's no clarity between polyamory and open relationships. Is there a difference? Are they the same? Do they refer to different things? I don't know if you can give me any, because both of you are actually sort of studying social sciences. Are they the same? Are they not the same? If we had anybody out there that the 2 terms are mixed up, what clarity can be put onto that?
I will say they are interconnected, but they are not exclusive in a way. I think that you are more wise in the academic way to say this. I'm going to be more inexperienced.
I don't know, but it is.
No pressure.
No
pressure. You're literally the only expert here, okay? So good luck. The pressure.
Thank you.
But how I see this is can entail both together, polyamorous and open relationship, but you can be in an exclusive polyamorous relationship or in a triple, for example.
Oh, I see.
It's polyamorous, we are 3.
And we're not open.
But we are not open.
That's interesting.
And it's us. Because, I don't know.
It's a situation.
The boundaries of people, the rules you want to set, or what actually hurts me or not, and all the we build as a social being, we put it there.
I see.
Open is when also entails personal and strict individual rules that we can say. My rule of openness mean this. Definitions. Again, labels and definitions.
Yes.
help us to not hurt each other. That's what he said. So how open can be, or what we can do, how much you want to know of the openness we have, also is important. You mentioned in your trouble, the communication was extremely important for me. It is. But sometimes I have a couple when we said we know the outside wall is wide and beautiful, but sometimes we don't want to know how much beautiful it is.
Exactly, so different.
We know it's beautiful, and it's fine.
And that is the group that you're putting onto it. That's the guy that you're putting on into that particular place.
You can be out, but always come back to sleep with me.
I see.
It's
And that's a version of openness.
Yes, it's a version of openness where don't get emotional about it. If it's just sexual relationship, it's fine, but the emotional entails different things. So depends on the relationship I was or the people I was. There were certain set of rules or certain set of boundaries that we put to each other to not hurt each other.
Yes, absolutely. And it's interesting that I'll build on further is how some people might automatically streamline the way that the moment somebody goes, oh, actually, I'm open, then that means that you're lying.
Exactly.
That means that you're not saying anything.
Well, for me, I feel like there is two ways of explaining it. You have the very simple way of being, what is the major difference? For me, that is, you have polyamory. That is, as I said before, the connection, the love, that is mostly what's in focus. Then you have open relationship. And for most people, again, it is such a personal thing to try to define.
Yes.
But it is more, for a lot of people, is more the sexual based focus.
I see.
That you have an emotional primary partner, for example, but you open the relationship in terms of you can explore with others. Some, as you say, is I don't want to know, and others is I want to know everything.
Yeah.
It depends. And as any kind of relationship, you make your own rules.
Absolutely.
That is the same in both those terms. So it's difficult to say this is and this is, because it's different depending on who is in that term or relationship. Absolutely. As well as the polyamory, it's the connection, it's the love, but you also, when you said throuple, and what I've been in as well is a throuple, that is, we have a term for it that we call the fidelity. And that is that you have a monogamously polyamorous relationship. So you are polyamorous in that you are multiple people, but you are still monogamous with only those people. So you are still playing with monogamy, just in a more open way.
The model that has been handed on to you, somehow the exclusivity of it all, you're still taking part into that, but you're changing it. It's interesting hearing you talk as well, the clarity of how we out there tends to be, the two terms tend to be mistaken, just because they both move away from conventional monogamy. And I think that is also the danger as soon as you go, oh, I'm actually open, or oh, I'm actually polyamorous, that, oh, all I can understand here is that, oh, you're not monogamous then.
Yes.
Whereas the two actually have a different description. That it can be both, but also this polyfidelity, is that right?
Polyfidelity.
That is
yes.
such an interesting term that I've never heard of before, which
No.
is really interesting.
Yeah, that is a term, it's a branch beneath the, of the polyamory. We have different ways, and probably more than I even know, but I know there's the hierarchy, that is you have a primary partner, and then you have secondary partners.
Yeah.
Then there's the non-hierarchy, that is everybody's equal.
I see.
You have the polyfidelity, that is, for example, a throuple. You don't be you're not with other people, only the ones that you are agreeing with. Then you have what I don't know if everybody calls that, I call the kitchen table.
Lovely.
The kitchen table is that you have everybody around the kitchen table, and you're all we can be together. It's we're all in it together, and it's a one big happy family around the kitchen table, just without kids. They're not a part of it. It's that's very, very important to say. We're talking about adults here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you also have solo polyamory. And that is that you're prioritizing your own independence. That you are talking about, I love connections, and I've been experimenting with that part as well, in the way of I like being me.
Yeah.
I love being me. I love being single in that part, but I cannot live without people, and I love people. So I have relationships and I have partners, and they all know that they exist, but they're independent in the way of I am the one that's like going continuously with them all, but I still have my independency. And that is for me most important. I don't share house, I don't share finance, I'm me. And then I have people that I connect with, that I do all these things with.
My mind is blown. Here you talk about it. See, it is the academic. It is the academic room. There was
but I felt the pressure. So.
You delivered.
Thank you.
Rebecca, that is genuinely fascinating because even sort of this idea of solo polyamory, I've never heard of before, for example. It is, and it makes so much sense, and that's the hope that in the people hearing us, when we're saying this in every podcast. I think people are going to go like, you're repeating yourself so much. But we don't know who's listening to this right now, who's listening to our conversation right now. And it could be somebody who's never thought about these concepts, somebody who's been through this, but maybe it was a negative experience. And we've got two people here who are speaking about it incredibly positively. Somebody who's really keen to try this because that's the way that they are feeling right now at this moment, that this is really what I believe I want for myself, for my relationship. And also knowing that, first of all, there are these different branches to all of it. There's the clarity of, what being open, what being polyamorous, how the two might interlink, but they're not necessarily the same thing. And from my own experience, as much as it's fascinating, something that I do practice as well, polyamory, but I always find it fascinating coming back to this country, which is the one thing that links us all right now as well, in the questions that I get to receive about the way that I love people as well, which always fascinates me. And I'm going to play the advocate of the devil here and just throw them back at you. You mentioned, Alejandro, the rules, the guides, and so often I see a binary, and as far as going, whatever they do is their business, and I don't want to know. / I need to know everything. And I'm pretty sure that there's a spectrum, and there will never be a question of what are the rules of open relationship? What are the rules of polyamory? That is not the question that I want to ask over here, but for somebody thinking about, we are about to either open our relationship, for example. What are things to keep in mind, even if there are going to be rules that we are going to set by? And I ask this in the spirit of, I think our penultimate thing is that we feel fulfilled and we don't hurt anybody else. I think that is the ultimate and that is the goal. If we had to be people who go, listen, if you're going to do your rules, do whatever you like, think about these factors, because these might be things that you might want to think twice about in opening yourself up or considering to be in a polyamorous relationship. For example, you mentioned the situation where there's already a couple. So did you actually, Rebecca?
Yes.
There is a couple and we joined into being a throuple. Things to keep in mind to protect your partner and also partners, and to also protect yourself. Are there any thoughts that you might want to put onto that?
Well, Rebecca mentioned communication, and yes, that is key. The honesty in the approach of that. I think the best approach we can have, or my leitmotiv approach in love, is the ignorance and the curiosity. Is I don't have idea. I remember this. I remember waking up at home, 2012. I was in a relationship with another two people, and my mom and my aunt were watching pictures on Facebook about a wedding. And I said, look, the wedding of somebody. And they started to make such a fuss about this big love and how they love each other. And this is love. This is the way it should be. And I was in my living room seeing myself, well, I have a different approach to that. Make us enemies. And we started having an exchange. And for a bit of time, I feel attacked. Like, you are wrong. This is wrong. You are going... And I stopped in my head after. I said, but these two people, they're my mom and my aunt. They actively love me. Her job is love me. So what is this? It's because we have a foundation of what love means, what the true love means, and what we're supposed to follow. And then, really and truly, we both sides, we don't have idea. It's not like we can go like, I don't know, Mormons knocking doors and with a book. This is love. You need to fuck everybody.
No.
It's not like that.
That would be easy though.
That
Yeah.
you could cover all the bases.
No more war in the world.
No.
No.
Absolutely.
And it's, if you I approach my relationship in that way, with honesty, and I really and truly, I don't know, because I don't know where you come from real. What is the foundation of your work, love in your head, or how this used to work for I don't know, another two.
Yeah.
What is your set of rules? What do you mean with this?
Yes.
And you have that conversation actively, not serious in like in a clinic, but
Yeah.
with gesture, with trying, with making mistakes, and being open. I don't know about this. I'm gonna make mistakes. Are you strong enough to
Yeah.
dance with me in this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I'm saying this now after 20 years of 6 different experience with different backgrounds and different situations in my life, different setups in countries and so on.
Yeah.
And I can say it, sitting, relaxed, and smile, but I cry my heart out many times
Yes.
through that. I fight with people.
Yeah.
Become someone I
sure.
don't recognize anymore.
For sure.
But it's rich, the experience.
And like, if I might add to that,
Yes.
because I really understand what you're saying. I really agree in the way of when you have a person that when you're talking, as you say, like if it's somebody listening that wants to do it or like is curious or something, the communication is definitely key here. But it isn't any relationship. I hope so. Like most of people think it. Here it's just very important, especially when you are new to it, because you don't know.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, how would you know? It's like if it's in a sexual based, if it's like relationship based, if you don't try, you would never know.
Yeah.
So the one thing I would say, dare to be brave.
Absolutely.
Dare. I know there is a chance that you might get hurt or that you might hurt the partner that you want to try this with. But communication and transparency, for me, the word transparency, and what I mean by it is that even though you're afraid, if I'm saying this, am I gonna hurt you right now?
Yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned by a scientist called Brené Brown. She has this quote saying, clear is kind.
Okay.
And I love it and I live by it. And it helped me through polyamory in the way of, if I'm not clear about my emotions, because I'm afraid that I will hurt my partner, who am I actually hurting by not saying? Myself. So by being clear, I set boundaries and I actually show respect, and I make people respect me in the way of, okay, this is Rebecca's boundaries.
Yeah.
Rebecca are not allowing me to kiss other people, but I'm allowed to have sex with them, for example, if that was a thing. But if I'm not clear about it, then the person has a bigger chance of hurting me.
Absolutely.
So dare. Really be courageous, not enough to dare do those things that you think will hurt, but you don't know until you try and communicate about it.
Yeah.
Because those feelings, they will get hurt. And jealousy is a big part of that. Like jealousy, we all know it when we've been in polyamorous. And with like people that like talking that doesn't understand, there's always jealousy is a question.
I have no doubt
Always.
that there are people watching, hearing us, listening to us, and maybe watching us as well, who might even have come here from a curious place. Because there are things that maybe some people might not understand, you know?
Sure.
I don't understand people who like cats instead of dogs. Frankly, I don't understand any of them. Joking, I love them. But whenever I have these conversations in an incredibly heteronormative world, you, Alejandro, spoke about your bravery, about sitting there incredibly, both of you, incredibly sort of secure in the delivery of what you were talking about, and this is who I am, and the importance of the visibility within which finally we're having the conversation right here. How many rom-coms have we seen about polyamory? And that's always my joke in there, or else about different and non-heteronormative relationship. Half, if not 3/4 of our rom-coms would be gone from the world if we had to take the pressures of what heteronormative monogamy has to offer over there. So the fact that, I mean, they're grateful for the podcast that have offered this space, But the fact that you both are talking about this from such a secure, brave way, I'm sure will spark so many conversations. But also people listening to us might have seen, it's interesting, are these people going to try and justify polyamory? And they're listening to us. Yes, I'm talking to you right now. Whenever I've had this conversation, I've, I think, maybe tried to defend, if there's anything to defend, the stand of a polyamorous approach to love. This idea of jealousy crops up constantly.
Yes.
Constantly. And rather than giving my own opinion on it, I want to bounce it off to you guys. Is that, what would your reaction be if you speak this beautifully about these wonderful ways of love that you've got?
Yes.
And I go, but if there are three people, wouldn't one get jealous of the other the moment that somebody gets more attention? Or if I am in a relationship and, I don't know, we open it up and somebody's going with somebody else, how can you not feel jealous? And it's something that I have my own opinions on it, but I want to leave with you because you are our guest today. What would your answer? What would your answer be? Gosh, you're being open even about the way that you answer. Jesus.
In my perspective, is for the economical system we are living. We live, or most of us, we live in love as a commodity, as something that we spend, something they waste, something is like time. We don't waste time, we spend time. Love is the same. It's in our language, it's a commodity, and it's not.
Yeah.
There is intensity, yes, but as I put an example before, people who have two parents, you have two, and you put your love for both, and they're not competing.
Yeah.
They're just living there.
Absolutely.
And yes, the jealousy comes, and in my first experience, I don't know, we can compare the scars now. I was always, I touch him too much this side, and I'm hugging him too much. I grab his hand, not his hand. Yeah. In my head was, please relax, we're gonna have a breakdown. Yes. But there are two, and then I realized it's natural in my way because I have two arms, I can have two bodies. But again, I think the jealousy comes in these situations when jealousy comes from a part of our insecurities, that we are not sure about something and we are not communicating that. Again, I'm not sure about this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If I make a mistake and I never communicate this, I only me is gonna suffer. Or put expectations in others. No, this is gonna be like this, and it's not, and then you feel disappointed on your own.
Really interesting.
It's beautifully said, and I will add on that jealousy is healthy.
Okay.
In like a specific way. And what I mean is there is two types of jealousy. You have what I call the green monster. That is the one that you get jealous because you picture things. It's the overthinker's worst nightmare. It's the way of like, oh my God, and then he will go out and then somebody will flirt with him and then he will do this and blah, blah, blah. But you don't know. But it's all in your head. And that monster's just growing and growing and growing until you do something that you regret out of jealousy. That is the feeling that we really do not want.
Absolutely.
But the jealousy that for me is healthy is jealousy comes from, in my perspective, in the terms of fear of losing something you care about.
Can you say that again? That is beautiful. Jealousy comes.
Jealousy comes from the feeling of fear of losing something you care about.
Wow.
So how is that not healthy to feel? We all fear. That is like a basic, we feel shame, we feel fear, like we feel love. That is basic feelings and emotions. We need to feel that. And because I'm saying this is because a lot of my years, I have been feeling that I was wrong in the way of I didn't feel jealousy. So I was like, something is wrong with me. Why do I not fear losing people? And then I found out that it's what kind of connections I'm making. So yes, in some terms, I'm not jealous. Sexually, I'm not jealous. But jealousy will appear in me in a bad way if you do not talk to me, if you do not communicate with me. So if you do something behind my back, so my trust is not earned. then I feel jealousy, and not the good kind.
Yeah.
But if we talk about it, if we communicate, for me, the most important thing I do when I'm in a polyamorous relationship, I ask before, like if I have something I wonder about, like I'm gonna go out with my friends on Saturday, babe. If this scenario happens, what would you feel if I did this or this or this? How would that, do you think? Like hypothetically, but we talk through this situation. So if it occurs, I have an idea on how not to hurt the person I'm with as good as I can.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it happens that we hurt each other, but we are in that agreement that it can happen, but you cannot go through life without hurting people. You hurt your mom by not calling. You hurt your sister by like saying that those shoes look bad. Like you cannot not hurt
Do you
people.
know this?
Exactly.
Told you.
But like you cannot go like if you fear hurting people. Oh my God, honey! You have to lock yourself up in battle rap and like just stay there. You cannot not live like that. So jealousy is healthy. You just need to think about what kind of jealousy, and that is why people are afraid to feel jealousy. But you have to embrace that feeling because it shows you care. Jealousy shows that you care.
Yeah. Amazing. So many beautiful insights as well, and all through it, I think the overarching theme in all of the conversations that we are having is that self-love is really coming through it. If this is an emotion that I need to feel right here, brilliant. That's going to help you grow. It's going to help you become stronger. And it is my biggest thing that whenever I'm faced by the question of, but don't you get jealous? And like, let's question where that jealousy is coming from. Let's question what are we doing with it. If you love somebody so much, how can your jealousy drives you into a place where you are angry with this person. This is the person that you love the most. Why wouldn't you want this person to thrive, this person to love?
Yes.
There is a book called Rewriting the Rules by Meg John Barker that's really reminding me of it, the way that you guys are talking, where she speaks of the beauty of a bird, that the more you hold it in your hand and the more you squeeze it, the less safe that bird is going to feel. Whereas probably when it is released, the probability is going to come back for more. And that imagery, I think, really stayed a lot with me in my own formation, my own understanding of these concepts. We've discussed a world of heteronormativity. We've discussed on how we can build our ways around it. You've been in Malta for a different level of time, and I've always, I don't know a single person myself, that's from my own personal life, who has polyamorous practices in Malta. Now I'm meeting 2 people, which is beautiful. my graph went from nothing to 3, which is amazing. What have your observations of Malta and Maltese people loving been over here? And the reason why I'm asking this is because I have my own biased way of looking at it down here, and it's not about you giving necessarily this is what was my opinion is or my projection is. It is my belief that if the world was more polyamorous, the world would be a bit more beautiful place because there's no restrictions or barriers on love. But have you had conversations in Malta that might be interesting to bring to this narrative, knowing that Maltese people might be listening to us right now and might be even creating a landscape of how polyamory might work in Malta? Don't know if you've had any experiences in here.
When I moved here, I was a bit careful.
Right.
In the way of, in this world we're living in right now especially, you need to think. You need to just be a bit aware in the terms of safety. And it is out of the norm. So, and I know that Malta is very religious. So I was like, well, religion, out of norm, not always goes great hand in hand. But I found out that my workplace is very open, and I found out that every person I meet is very open, and I feel actually very safe here. And I am from Denmark, that is in the queer society actually very safe on the paper, but in reality not always.
I find a bit of resonance.
Yes.
And there from all of them.
Exactly. So for me to actually arrive, being a bit careful, but finding out that it's like it is possible to talk about these things without me feeling that I am being looked at as a bad guy or as wrong, just misunderstood maybe.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
You've been here longer, Alejandro. I don't know how your experience has been.
Well, I like to play anthropology with humans.
Love it.
The exercise of observation
Your assignments for your course must be so interesting and unique.
with specs. Gaffy society.
Love it.
Step by step on the
Yes.
stairs.
Feeding the no binaries. But we have the similarity with that kind of society when in paper we are one thing and the speech is other, and what we do behind doors is a different story.
Yeah.
For the gay perspective, if you open a hookup app right now, you don't have real pictures mostly. Because everyone is in the closet, because everyone is ashamed of being who he is, or for me, and something that we can establish is polyamorous is sexual in a pride way. Yeah. We are not ashamed of how the way we express, and that's why resonate even more with queer people, because queer people, we need to go through all this journey of I need to discover myself. I don't know how to find this. It's not in the movies. It's not in the textbook of biology. Yeah. I need to try and make mistakes. It's not like this. It's not like that. How I treat somebody. So, this keep trying. We find more. In Malta, since I'm being open with this kind of relationship, and actually the relationship I was in Malta for almost 5 years, it started as a triple open relationship. COVID make it open because the other person lived in a different continent and was stuck there for 2 years. But was public. Yeah. We are 3. And it's like this. And people start to have questions about jealousy, about how that works and dynamics and so on. And people, I take it for the last 2 years at least, especially being in a different kind of environment in office. I was in a very serious back office situation, and now I'm more creative one. People are more open. People are, heterosexual people, couple. Well, we have a friend, but we don't know how to deal with this because right now the experience for them was, at the moment, is nothing sexual happened, but they are the 3 of them all the time together. Interesting. And the good side is the open mind for this couple is the homosexual relationship. It's gonna happen there is not the problem. Okay. It's about the feelings, about how you divided your love to other two, and but we both want this as a couple. We want this person and this person love as a unity. This couple, and I found it beautiful that they are open for that. Yeah. As a start. If it fails, fails. If it's not, it's not. It's a friend. It's something they can blame in alcohol, whatever. Yeah. But it's there. That experience is there, and more people are coming out as. And you notice, and people are noticing more than you have gay triples more often and more public, because every time you see this couple, it's always his friend with them.
Yeah. Really, really interesting. And I think in all of this, it's really important also to put in the constant questioning that a polyamorous relationship might get to receive from a very heteronormative society, from a very heteronormative model. That you're never going to go anywhere and sign off as partner 1, partner 2, and partner 3. Constantly the same battles are obviously going through gender, which is still split on the male and the female. But in order for us also to start wrapping up this really, really beautiful conversation, you've shared with us this wonderful journey that you've both been on, that you've discovered so much about how you love. Yes. Who you love is, I think, a constant for everybody, but how you love is this beautiful discovery. And for anybody out there who has these thoughts of polyamory, is so keen to find themselves in this wonderful setting, I'm sure you would have discovered things about yourself as well through it all. I sort of peppered in self-love through the entire thing, and it might be the most uncomfortable question of all, because you can talk about what the model is, but you yourselves, what has this process thought about you? And the answer could be, not really, I haven't learned anything, this is how I've always been. Have there been any sort of reflections on how you've changed, because all change grew through it? Because in reality, if what we've managed to demystify here is maybe all the questions that would just rely on the lust side of it, you're just open because you're promiscuous, you're just the myths around. Actually, what we're doing is we are loving, just like you are loving one person.
Yes.
I have the ability and the want to love more than one person. So, in the context of all of that, how have you grown?
Oh my God, so much. So much.
Imagine if the answer was like, not really.
Yes,
I've always known this.
But no, it's like, especially when we're talking in a heteronormative society, and as we started off our conversation with, in the way of you grow up thinking that you need to have a man and you need to have only one partner, etc., to understand and to accept yourself in the way of there is more ways to love. And my way is just as valid as my mom's way or my friend's way, or it doesn't matter. And for that to gain confidence in how I see the world, in loving in this situation, it is very freeing.
Absolutely.
And I found out that I am very good at communicating now because of all of this. And I know my emotions, so I feel like I am growing and maturing in my way of regulating my own emotions and feel, what is this now? How am I gonna handle this? And not being afraid of feeling my feelings. And that is something that I would have never been without. The funny thing is that now I am trying for a monogamous relationship. I have been all my life.
How could you? After all of this, Rebecca.
Oh my God, all
of this.
But the funny thing is that she's just amazing, and she is monogamous.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of conversations, and I'm like, she knew that I was non-monogamous and polyamorous when we started dating, but I was like, let's see. I might hurt you because I might say at some point, I cannot do this.
Yes.
But with you, I want to try. I want to experiment as I experimented with multiple partners. Now I've come to understand myself more. Let's see if my love for you is different, because it feels different. As I said, I love people. This woman I fell in love with.
Interesting.
And therefore I have like another kind of way of feeling things. And I don't know what the future holds, but as I was not afraid to dive into the polyamory, I'm now not afraid to try the monogamous thing, because I need to explore this in a new way with a new person, and she is aware.
And look at what sort of a series of understanding about yourself and the understanding about the way that love works. As you were talking, it's interesting, I think, the amount of times that we get, if I am in love, I've got a partner, and I still have to meet somebody else that I am feeling these feelings. And whereas if I've got this partner, it's like, sorry, that part of me is expired. I've used that. I've fallen in love already. I cannot fall in love with you. And the reality is, you have this not openness in terms of open relationship, the openness in thought of where this might go. So the entire process has still...
You can always and that is also something I really want to just because you say at one point that you are one type of person, I am polyamorous, and because I go into a relationship, that doesn't mean that I'm not polyamorous still. I can still then break up and I go somewhere else and do it again. It's not, as you said, it's not like something like it's a part of me. It's not something I feel, it's something I am, but I can still play with it, and that is what I'm really learning from this. And I'm still in a process, and I think hopefully it never ends.
Absolutely.
It never
Absolutely.
ends.
Absolutely. Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing that. Alejandro, I don't know about you. Any reflections on your own self, on your own growth in all of this?
I cannot go back. I don't think I can ever. I'm not trying to close myself to a monogamous relationship, but I'm being drawn to these kind of situations, openness or at least poly.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot about myself on these situations and how the way I express love and my sense of community comes with love.
Yeah.
And I have the contradictions of the structure I was brought up and how the things I really want to express love. How I was taught we need to live in boxes and by pairs and that's it, and we need to live this life 1+1 because it's an economical arrangement. But when in reality, if we share multiple people, a big house, and we take care of each other, different generations on it, makes more sense.
Yeah.
And that is driving not for economical reasons, is for love. We take care of each other.
Absolutely.
And I'm aiming more for that than before. And again, it's unpredictable love. Well, I cannot say no. It's this. I'm gonna sign my.
And I think we're the living
That
embodiment.
is so
of
important. Yes.
So happens.
Yeah.
You don't expect it. It's ice in the water. You don't expect it. It's a thrill that you feel in your body, and it's damn. It's happening with this person.
We might even call the podcast that. Love happens.
Love
for this
happens.
particular one. Love.
It does.
Thing about
It
love.
does.
Love happens.
And I think everybody have tried that. Like, you can be with a partner and then suddenly this emotion of like, ooh, like there's like the butterflies and you're like, oh, but I don't know this person, but I love my partner. It's like, yes, but that doesn't mean you love your partner less because you're feeling this in this moment with another person. Like you have multiple friends. When you get a new friend, do you be like, no, then I love my like everyday friends less? No.
Yeah.
You can easily fall in love with a new friend as well.
Absolutely.
Love is like that kind of like, it happens.
Fluid thing.
Yes.
And I want to conclude with saying that it's not something that we choose or we are open for. We need to accept ourselves that we want, that we always want, or we allow ourselves to feel. It's not I'm looking for this because you're not gonna find it. That's the way I always feel it when I relax. Shops, and it's good.
My friends, thank you so much for sharing all of this. And also, first of all, you shared a very personal side of you to us, which is really, really, really amazing. But also, the visibility that you've brought to the polyamorous community is really huge, because unless we have these conversations and unless people can see that there are many other layers than the superficial first layer that people are just going to ask as soon as we get to know that there's this arrangement, this setting, this relationship, this love happening over here. So you have brought so much to the table just by sharing that part of you, and also giving us the theories, the thoughts, and maybe even breaking it down into a process, which is beautiful. I wish you all the love in the world, and may you love and love and love over and beyond. And thank you so much for being here with us. To you listening to us out there, I wish you love too. And if love happens, may you always be equipped and free and just ready to go and chase that love, which is amazing. Thank you for listening to us. Please take care and protect one another always. I've been Luke, and this was Mistħija. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.